Hey, what's up and good morning, everybody. Right now it is 4:26, and I'm working on my book for a couple hours. Just wanted to get some work in, and was like, hey, I should just go start because I had this book idea in my head that I want to share with you guys. So the book's called Van CEO. It sounds just stupid. So pretty much it's like why you should drop everything and start your business today. So pretty much the concept of the book is that a lot of people wait for the right time to do something, and what I'm trying to do is kind of dive into some of those fears of like why are people not trying to do stuff? Why do people have that fear? Is it a lack of support? Is it a lack of what? Is it a lack of resources, lack of timing? Why do people push off doing things that they really want to do? Because and then like what I kind of show is ways that I kind of broke down the problem for me, which was starting a company. It's because I really wanted to do this thing, but I was stuck in college. And what was the things that I did personally to then put myself in a position where it's like, hey, I can just go start. And just kind of showing how did I get through a lot of those gaps and things of just starting. It's not even talking about necessarily being super successful. It's just like the thing is like I think starting is a really hard part. And I just talk a little bit about a lot of the things I've learned and all that stuff. But what I really wanted to kind of show you guys today is in chapter 1, I gave you guys a little sneak peek. I talk about this concept that basically there's this push and pull of these two different concepts in people's heads that makes them not want to do something. There's this balance that you need of confidence and humility in order to do anything really cool. So you need the confidence in order to start the endeavor, but you need humility to make sure the endeavor can survive and keep going. And I talk about this experience that I had with switching from making an app first to making a website first, and why that was a really good decision for the company, and why I had to be really humble in that, and also just some of the things that helped me with feeling a lot more confident in talking to people and really being comfortable in my own skin, if that you will. But then I put this quote, which is probably my favorite quote of all time. It's called "The Man in the Arena" by Theodore Roosevelt. I'm not sure if I've read it to you guys, but I just want to. So this is a quote by Teddy Roosevelt. "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there's no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually to strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spent himself on a worthy cause, and what knows best, the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least he fails while doing greatly, so that his place shall never be with the cold, timid souls who know nor victory nor defeat." It's my favorite quote ever. And that was the biggest thing that I talk about, why people have a lack of confidence and belief in themselves, is because they listen to that critic and they put their value into these people that tell them things. And I talk about in the book, like I had a lot of people tell me to just go to college, and then like a lot of people like it's crazy because everyone's just like, well, I went to college and then I figured it out. And it's like, well, what did you know? Like, what things did you learn? What information did you get? What connections did you build? Why is it better to get connections with these people in college? Why shouldn't I get people that are already developed and like 10 years older than me in the business scene? Like, I couldn't understand that. And I talk about that in the book. And yeah, and also I have this thing where it's like I have this philosophy with confidence that once you realize that everybody poops, you feel so much better talking to everyone. That's like my stupidest thing. But it's honestly been one of the best things that I tell to salespeople. Because a lot of the times when you're talking to a client, your problem isn't that, this client is like a whole lot better than you or anything. So you put them on this pedestal. It's like, oh, they have all this money, they have all this power, influence, whatever. And you put them on this pedestal that this is a great dude. But they poop too. Like, they have fears, they have insecurities. They're not perfect in every way. Like, they have these different things that they're nervous about. Like, they have nervousness. And that's what you need to realize as a salesperson. Because they're nervous about some aspect of the transaction that's occurring. They're nervous about, they need to do this thing better. Or they need to do, I'm nervous about this thing or this thing or this thing. It might not even be money. They might be like, I'm insecure that if this doesn't pan out, I'm gonna look bad, and I might get fired, or like my team might lose respect for me if it's a CEO or whatever. But it's these things you just got to think about, and you have to be like, put yourself in their situation, is because they have a lot of insecurities that you might not even think of. And basically in the book, also I read off all my insecurities, and what I do about them. I'll just give you guys a little sneak peek as well. Sorry, this video might be a little bit long. Yeah, so my insecurities are my bottom teeth are really spread apart. They look like they're kind of scared of each other. I have this earring like type mole on my left ear that I got bullied for as a kid because everyone thought like, oh, you have an earring, and so like those were two things that I just put labels on. I was really afraid of not being smart enough or capable enough to start a company and run a company successfully. I wasn't sure, like I was insecure if I was the guy. And then I was afraid of just being labeled a failure, not achieving what I wanted to achieve, and disappointing everyone that looks up to me, but more to myself. Like those are my big insecurities. And then I basically just like label them and say like, what can I do about it? So, and I realized like with the visual stuff, like my little earring thing here and like my teeth, it's like at the end of the day, anyone that decides they don't want to like me for those things, there's something going on in their head that is actually really bad, and that they're insecure about themselves, so they're going to put something on that. And the reason that's an insecurity for me is in the back of my head, I hear judgment from other people, and then I put that onto me, and then I'm like, okay, people are going to judge me for this thing, so I need to be insecure about it. And that's a me problem, not a them problem. Even if they're being really mean to me and saying all this crap, yeah, of course I can just like get the mole removed and get my teeth fixed, but it's like that's I think a lot of it might just be like I'm letting those people that might make fun of me or say something about me, they are going to have the power over my life, and that's not being, I think, who I am and being truly confident in who I am and my identity. And that's like, I think it's like, it's different for stuff like that and being like, because I think you should always improve yourself, and then that's where the humility piece comes in. But it's like with this stuff, it's like I don't want that to be the reason. If it's like, hey, I want to go get my teeth fixed because it would make me feel better, like sure, I'll do it. But I don't think I don't want to right now. I'll probably do it in a couple of years. But it's like I'm fine. I'm fine with my little earring ear and all that stuff. It's who I am, and it makes me, and I'm okay with that. And then with like me not feeling like capable and smart enough, I tried to make so like what I did there is I really defined it. Okay, so then what makes someone capable? Do I think it's a college degree? Absolutely not. I do not think it's a college degree. I think it's the ability to accept critical feedback, learn very well, and be able to adapt to challenging circumstances. Those are the three things I think that make a great leader. And it's nothing more. It's the ability to listen, the ability to take in new information, and the ability to learn. And that's really it. Like leadership isn't me commanding things. Yeah, you need to have vision, but being someone that's capable of running a company, it's just you really need to be able to just accept feedback, adapt, change, and move, and keep pushing forward and get people in the, like my goal isn't to row the boat a lot of the times, but like like a lot of the times my job might just be to point the boat in the right direction. It might, like, yeah, I'm going to be down in the trenches working my ass off, don't get me wrong, but it's like a lot of the times your job as leaders, you got to, just say like, hey, we're going to go in this direction, and then, hey, if something comes up and we realize that we messed things up, then we can go back and fix that and adapt and change. So there was that, and then that being looked at as a failure piece, again, that was like other people's judgment. And being like, okay, who do I have something to prove to? Like, do my parents? No, my parents just want me to be happy, honestly. And the thing is, even if they didn't, they were just like, cool. Like I still would do what I did if my parents were like, F you, Jason, I don't want to support you in this. I'm like, cool, I'm still doing it. Like, there's not a whole lot. Like I remember, like one of my craziest things is I'm not sure if I told you guys yet, but me and Simeon are looking at a move to Austin. Or just near Austin. Austin's freaking expensive. Well, get out, but it's like San Marcos area. But it's like I was talking to my mom, and mom's like, was like, hey, I think I might move to Texas, and she's just like, cool, and I'm like, that's awesome, and it was just really nice. Might be just because my mom wants me out of the house, which is fair, but it was just it was really good. It was just really good to have, that. But even if my mom was like, I don't want you to go, I still would go. It's because I have that confidence in myself, but also have that humility piece to be like, okay, is that a good decision? That's why I talked to Simeon a lot about it. I was like, hey, do you think this is a good call? What are your fears? That was one of the first things that me and Simeon did when we said, like, when we were starting to be like, dude, I think we should move to fucking Texas. And we were like, oh, wait, really? And then we literally wrote down everything we need. Like, how much money should we have saved up? Like, what can we do in order to cut expenses for a little bit? How can we make sure that we're bringing money in? What side hustles can we do to just bring in revenue? And it was just like we made this big list, and then we have it. Like, I still have it in my journal, but it was just like that. It was that fear and insecurity of what judgment is. I think Simeon honestly could talk to this a lot better than I can in terms of doing crazy shit. Like, he just freaking moved to the middle of Wisconsin to go work on a farm. Like I don't. You have to have so much self-confidence in order to do that. Like, it just is a weird thing, because I don't think there's a whole lot of people that just told Simeon to go move to a farm in Wisconsin. I think that was kind of a him call. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for it. That's why I respect the living crap out of Simeon. So love that guy. Like, he's someone I trust very deeply in my heart. And he's someone that I want to bet. There's like this thing in my head. There's like $1 million guys that I want to bet on, and Simeon's one of them. It's like, if I had to push my chips on the table, it's like, who do I think is going to be successful? Like, he's one of those guys that I want to bet on, and I want to help be successful. Like, honestly, like, one of the craziest things we talked about is like, dude, it's like, even if Simeon was like, you know what, Jason, I don't think Ocean Connection's a good fit for me, I would still love him to death, and I'd still help him in whatever he was doing. Like, I want him to, like, know that. This is just becoming a lovey-dovey Simeon thing, but it's like, I just respect the living crap out of him, and yeah, it's good. But he's like guy that kept me in check as well. So when we're talking about confidence and humility, I remember we were talking about seed round fundraising, and I just completely sounded like an idiot. And he's like, Jason, you sound like an idiot. And I was like, that's fair. I did sound like an idiot. Thank you for calling me out. And then I reread over some seed, like, how does the seed round to your Series A to your Series B, how does that work, and how do you guarantee return on investment from the guys that invest in the seed round into Series A and B. And it was pretty much like, you have to over double your share price in between even between your seed round and your Series A and B. You want to pretty much double it every time, so then you can get a good return on investment for the people that invested in the seed round. And then but it was like, I just sounded like a complete idiot when I didn't know that. And because I was like, well, share dilution happens, and you just make sure that I said something stupid. But then Simeon just called me out, and I just have a tremendous amount of respect for that. But yeah, that's just like my little rant for today. Right now it's 4:40. Probably gonna go grab a coffee. Oh my gosh, it's Sunday. I didn't even realize what day it was. That's funny. That's really funny. I can't believe that. I didn't even know what day it was. That's like when you're doing something cool. It's like when you just forget what day it is. But yeah, Van CEO. Yeah, I'm gonna write about minimalism in this book as well. Like, that's another big thing for me, is like, the ability to be happy with a little, especially in business, is such a massive asset. Or like the ability to eat shit, if you will. Like, that's what I'm really gonna see. It's like, be okay with eating garbage is gonna be a chapter title. Like literally, like, I think if you're not like this is one of the things for me. If you're not at least willing to go live in a van, I think you shouldn't start a business. I know it sounds stupid. I know it sounds really stupid, but it's like, shit goes down. Everything's horrible. You need to be okay with the worst circumstances, and be okay with that. That's what's so big. That's what's so important. I think that's my edge, because it's like, when Jeff Bezos or whoever is going to buy some multi-million-dollar property, I'm going to be like, hey, let's go buy people instead, and like get people, like, and keep investing back in the company instead. And I'm like, I think if I do that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 bajillion years from now, instead of me buying all this expensive shit, I'm going to have a lot of really great people that I'm going to be able to invest in long term. I'm going to be able to be able to create workspaces. Because the thing is, it's like, people don't realize with a company, it's like, for every dollar that you're putting in your own pocket, you're taking that out of the pile of money for your company. And for a really long time, for a really freaking long time. And the ability to embrace that shittiness of like not making a lot of money, I think it's okay. Because the thing is, I don't think an entrepreneur should be the guy that goes and chases money. I don't think so. I think that the really really good entrepreneurs are chasing purpose, and money comes. I know it sounds really stupid, but it's like, I think if you want to start a company and you want it to be your full-time job, I think you should at least be willing to do a lot of the really, really hard shit, because that's what happens. If you love it that much, then go start a company, I think. Because honestly, I think full-blown entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. I think small-scale entrepreneurship is. Like flipping some couches on a weekend. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. 1000%. I think everybody should have something like that. A little side hustle where you go make money. I think that for sure. But being like, I want to quit my day job and be an entrepreneur, I think you gotta kind of have that different, that kind of want. You need that kind of fire on your ass. Like, go for it. Which is a lot more work. Like a lot more work. And that's something that's really, really tough. Because there's a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs but don't want to do hard shit. And it's like, you gotta do it, man. You can't be, it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too, you know? It's like you can't bake your cake, or whatever the freaking slogan is. Something like that. But it's like you gotta pick your horse, in my opinion. It's like you can't have both, I think. I think it's really hard, at least. But yeah, guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you all for listening to the 16-minute rant is what it's been now. So I'm going to end this piece of content, and I hope everyone's doing great. And I hope you know that if you're watching this, I love you, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate the support. And I hope that you guys see and are going to be able to buy stuff on OceanConnection.com soon. Website stuff's looking really good. Just getting some things that I can't do. I'm shipping it out, and just basically there's like I taught myself a lot of stuff, but there's some stuff that's a little bit above my pedigree that I can't get done. So I'm like just gonna freaking push that out. I'm gonna revamp our website to make it like investor friendly, which is my thing. So we're gonna get like, hey, it's like you want to be a part of the Ocean Connection thing, do that. But yeah, things are gonna be great, and I just want to say I really appreciate you all. It means the world, even for you 16, 17 people that watch and like content of mine. I want you to know I really do value and I really do appreciate it. And I'm taking little notes of all you guys, and I hope you guys will be rewarded at some point in the future. But I appreciate you all. Yeah. Also, again, if you guys want to have any guests for the podcast, please let me know. I'm going to make an Instagram post today and a Facebook post. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. I hope everyone has a great Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday. And yeah, appreciate it, y'all. Thank you.